Nice.
Long Boys Blues, 1975. A YouTuber who's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug him. Long Boys Blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Lumboys Post 1975. There's a question down there. I want to ask a question and I want to piss Simone a little bit about the game in the title. But the question is quite simple. When was the last time you felt properly ripped off by a game company? You felt like you really had been taken advantage. Your love of a franchise was clearly exploited for financial gain. Now, I know everyone's going to be saying, I'm sure there's a ton of Metal Gear Solid fanboys just thumbing this down and just going, oh, it's a prologue, you missed the point. But yeah, we piss and moan, and I'm no exception to the rule about the price of games all the time, and we piss and moan about the length of games, you know. People, you know, and I'm in there, complain about Call of Duty being like, what, the campaign, because I still buy games for campaigns, I know, being like, I don't know what, 7 hours max long, alright, it's extended because of online and stuff like that. But that side, there, as I set up the question, there are times when we are just properly exploited, and that to me is this: Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. It's a prologue to Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. Kojima, I love you, mate, but first of all, when did you go to the George Lucas of shit names? And second of all, what is this? I'm sure there's a ton of rants out there about this. I haven't watched any of them. Pretty sure if I do, we're all going to touch upon the same areas and have to draw the same conclusions, but yeah. So I'm sure the idea with this was kind of a nice setup to get you to work up the market, get you excited for the you know, the upcoming game, and it's to show off the new engine, the Fox engine, which I will have to say that the engine is absolutely phenomenal. It's incredible. It looks so good. I mean, seriously, for a 360 game, this looks absolutely fantastic. Now, I know I've walked into this, I knew nothing about this other than, you know, 5 was on the horizon and that it had a new engine. So when I saw it, excuse me, in the supermarket the other day for £25, this is the point here. Am I the only person who still thinks 25 quid is a lot of money? But when I saw it, even though I read the back and knew that it was a prologue, I thought, prologue, to me the word prologue does not suggest demo. But yeah, I picked it up. Now, if I'd done my homework, if I'd researched it, would I have bought it? Possibly no. But at the same time, I like to have that little adventurous nature. I mean, like the part of me that was like when I was a kid, where I would buy a game based purely upon the box art or the screenshots on the back. You know, I don't want to lose that. So whether, you know, that's the reason it's bit me in the ass, you know, I'm forever going to be like that. But yeah, so I picked it up. Most of my pickups now I just show on Facebook. Put it up there, so yeah, I got this, and a couple of comments were, you know, this is really, really short. And I was like, really? I thought it can't be that short. So on, I know there are speed runs of like 25 minutes of it, but I've never been a speed run sort of person. But yeah, I thought it can't be that short. I mean, again, I know it's a prologue, but prologue to me does not suggest demo. I've played it. I've completed it. I was not, you know, if anything, I was deliberately just trying to explore, well, explore is probably too strong a descriptive term for this game, just have fun, extend the experience, but I completed it in a pinch under 2 hours, which I hear is generally the consensus for how long this game is if you're not batshit crazy, you know, going for a speed run. 2 hours. Sure, there are options tacked on and things like that you can use to extend it, but that's the main campaign for this game. 2 hours. Prologue or not, I don't pay 25 quid for 2 hours of gameplay. I can't believe that. I mean, maybe Kojima really didn't decide to cash in on this. Maybe, as I said, it was him trying to create like an event to set up, you know, the next game. But to me, 2 hours, this should have been, right, either a lot cheaper or a downloadable demo. I think there's a downloadable digital version of this, which is cheaper, but not by much. But yeah, it should have been a demo. Maybe 2 hours a bit big for a demo. No, not really. Or it should have been like they do with Bond movies. It should have been that little action sequence before the main titles of the main game. It certainly shouldn't have been a title in itself. I mean, let's put some perspective on that. This was 25 quid, right? This was 30 quid. Granted, this isn't the biggest game in the world, but it's a hell of a lot bigger than this. I know it's kind of difficult to, you know, compare those sort of different games. My point is, I felt like I got value for money for this. It was a fiver more. It was a fiver more. I mean, is this where we are now? Is this like the future of gaming? Not just digital only, which this isn't, but you know what I mean. But also, there's no such thing as a freebie anymore. I mean, it used to be demos were important, demos were free, demos were on the front of magazines, demos were there to sell the game, not to charge what I consider the full price of a game for. People might say that's not full price for a game. Let's put another spin on it. This, when it first came out, was £22. This is my favourite Wii game of all time. This game is huge, and yet it was £22. So 25 quid is a ballpark figure for a full price game for me. So yeah, I got to say, Konami, I really feel that you've taken advantage of, you know, your loyal Metal Gear Solid fans, because I love Metal Gear Solid. It's my favourite game of all time. I have it on the PlayStation, I have it on the GameCube, love it on the GameCube. I have 2, I have 3. I had the HD collection, but I sold it because I kept the ones on the PlayStation 2. But my point is, I absolutely loved it, and I was kind of disappointed that I never got to experience 4 because I've never owned a PlayStation 3. In fact, the number of times I've played a PlayStation 3, I don't have to count on one hand, I can count on one finger, and it was a brief pop at Metal Gear Solid 4. So that was kind of why I was all excited when I saw this. I purchased it because, yeah, I'm a Metal Gear Solid fan. So I feel properly that I've been taken advantage of. I have to talk a little bit about the game though, by the way. I have to say the graphics are amazing, the controls are incredibly tight. What there is of this game I enjoyed immensely. There's just not very much of it. Nitpicking here, they got rid of, oh spoilers, they got rid of David Hayter. That many games in the franchise that have used his voice, and now you get rid of him. That's, I don't know, you may as well just castrated him. It's David Hayter is Solid Snake. You've replaced it with Kiefer Sutherland. His voice acting is good, and I like Kiefer Sutherland, but Kiefer Sutherland to me is not Snake. Now I know possibly he wanted to go in a new direction, which kind of seems odd because it's classic Metal Gear sort of, you know, stealth espionage action. It reeks and feels very much standard Metal Gear. So how much of a new direction are you going in, you know, to justify changing the voice? But also, at the same time, you've changed it to Kiefer Sutherland. He kind of looks like Chuck Norris in this as well. Kiefer Sutherland, yeah, brilliant, but I don't know. When I think of Kiefer Sutherland, I think of Jack Bauer. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but he's not Snake. I don't know. It just annoys me. But yeah, so what I'm basically trying to say is, when was the last time you properly felt like you were taken advantage of by games company? Because this, to me, is that moment. I almost felt like a honey trap, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, let me know what you think, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.